Hey YouTube, this is Felicia with Bible Scraps and happy Black History Month. This is officially my first Black History Month video for this month. I am super duper way behind. We are halfway through the month, but you know what? I love Black history. I love to celebrate and acknowledge Black history. And you know, it dawned on me several days ago. It just hit me out the blue because for the last several years on my channel, I've celebrated Black history in my own way. I'm a paper crafter, and I celebrated Black history by showcasing my part of my vintage Ebony magazine collection. I love to collect those. I've celebrated it in with a couple videos sharing vintage sewing patterns featuring African Americans on them. I love to collect those. I have a couple videos sharing my collection of vintage African American paper dolls, and I probably, celebrated it with a couple other videos as well. But I love to celebrate Black history. It excites me. It moves me. And the question or thought that occurred the other day is, as a paper crafter, I follow other paper crafters, and I don't hear crafters acknowledge Black History Month. And that just kind of hit me like, I wonder why. That's thought-provoking. Not even African American paper crafters. I don't hear, I kind of feel alone in all this, when it comes to Black History Month. But anyway, you guys, I love Black History Month. I remember in school, Black History Month was a big thing. It was celebrated. And though I'm not in primary school anymore, I still get excited about Black history. Now, in this video, I'm really not prepared, but if I tried to get prepared, this video would never get done. As a matter of fact, I do have a couple other videos I'm going to bring, but I'm just want to bring, and in this video, share some things that I've purchased, including some paper dolls I've gotten. I shop all year looking for things. So we'll just see how this video, how it turns out. I do know I have a video I'm going to share featuring vintage Ebony Junior magazines. I have a nice collection of those. I'm going to share a video, let's see, of some African American fabric that I have coming. And probably in that video, share some things I picked up at Michael's this year, because Michael's for the second year. Let me tell you, history, it's Michael's made history last year for their store when and I do have a live video and a haul video, because that experience was monumental. When I walked in to Michael's, a craft store that I have been crafting or shopping from for years, when I walked into that store and saw two things at two different times, but when I saw they had a Black history whole setup selling Black history items, crafty items, t-shirts, fabric, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. That was last year. And Michael's did the same thing this year. Thank you, Lord. And then Capital Chic, a designer, and I cannot think of her name. I want to say her name, but it's probably not the right name. But anyway, I did a live video sharing that and her products. When I walked into Michael's and saw a end cap or a power panel dedicated to her design, singing people of color on washi tape, scrapbooking paper, die cuts, rubber stamps. That was the first time ever. And I started crafting in 2004. And last year was the first time ever I walked in and saw something like that. It was amazing. It was record making and setting. By the way, she got new items in the Capital Chic line, which I'll share in a future video. But anyway, you guys, I'm excited. There's a lot of change that's going on. Thank you, Lord. And not just changed in the broader world, but hopefully change within the crafting community. It's slow, but there's definitely, we are on the brink of change, and I'm so excited about that. All right. So once again, I love vintage paper dolls. In particular, I collect the African American vintage paper dolls. Now, I'm sure, you know, I just thought of one right now I need to grab out because I don't think I shared it last year. Some of you guys might recognize that noise, that heater, that floor heater you can pick up at Costco. When you move it like that, it makes that noise. But anyway, can I grab this? I started collecting paper dolls, I don't know how many years ago. I just happened across, online, I just happened across a vintage paper doll. I don't remember playing with them growing up. My cousin, well, she played with Barbies. So I don't remember paper dolls, but I was looking for positive, beautiful, vintage images of Black people that I could incorporate in my crafting, because as a paper crafter, still to this very day, there's a lack of people of color represented in designs, rubber stamps, dies. That is changing ever so slowly, but there's much, you know, to be done. So I went on a journey searching for beautiful vintage images of African Americans, and I came across vintage paper dolls, and that opened up a whole new world for me. I'm like, oh my goodness, beautiful images of vintage images of African Americans can be found in paper dolls, because I wanted something authentic that I could use. I like to create journals and things like that, and I just wanted something authentic, and I found that in the vintage paper doll. So this is a rare collection, and it features 5 different babies, and you have this cute, look at this cute little black baby. And it was important to me to find images that accurately depicted African Americans, given that a lot of vintage and antique things out there depict a demoralized Black person, a sexualized Black child, you know, with the big butts. I mean, if you go to eBay and search Black Americana, it's disgusting. The images, exaggerated features, lips, big red lips. And once again, even when it came to the children, they were depicted as having big butts. You could find images like that right now in greeting cards that were sold not too long ago for people's pleasure. I mean, it's really disgusting. And I didn't want to use those type of images in I'm looking for, okay, here, in my creations. Now, I think this set overall might be flawed because this is for the little black baby. It's missing this part. And I saw that it was missing this part online as well. And I'm assuming that it's a manufacturer defect. I don't know. But anyway, this little black baby is so pretty. So beautiful. I mean, I love all the babies. It's really a diverse set. That's an Asian baby, little white baby. This might be a Mexican baby. So it's a diverse set. But I love how beautiful that little black baby is. And then this collection here. So you can go to eBay and search for these paper dolls. Some are harder to find than others. I've noticed the prices have went up. But then, depending on when you look, you might find a really good deal. So I love this collection. This little girl just totally reminds me of me and my sister. I mean, the hairdo, the pigtails like that. It is so cute. I'm not going to flip through it, but love, love, love. This is 70s, and I think this one might be the 60s. And then you have this collection here. Now, it doesn't feature a black baby, but when you open it up, there's a black baby. I don't know how I happened across this one. Like, I don't know how I knew it was a black baby inside of this collection. And look at the little one, little black legs right there. So stinking cute. This is probably 70s as well, if not the 60s. And then this one here. Because you have the brother and you have the sister. Love, love, love. What year is this one? Let's see. Well, I'm sure there's a year somewhere, but look at that, you guys. This looks 60s. Look, regular price 10 cents. Now, I do have 2 other videos showcasing other vintage paper dolls. Feel free to check them out. Okay, and this one here. This one came just like this. But you know, before I forget, because I do want to, this month I am celebrating a company that is no more. When I first started crafting in 2004, sometime after that, I came across a company that is so dear to my heart. I still lament the closing of this business. It's Dandy Images. And Dandy Images was the premier rubber stamp shop to go to for not just African rubber stamps, but African American rubber stamps. To this day, there is no company out there that offers what she offered. I have a nice collection of Dandy's Images, and to this day, I lament the closing of her business. I don't know why her business closed down. Some of you you've heard me talk about this in prior videos, but I decided this month to celebrate her achievements in the crafting industry because she truly did her part to diversify the crafting community. She offered all crafters, in particular African Americans, something that is still not offered to us today. And I hate that her business is no longer. Like, for instance, do you know how difficult it is to, if I want to find a rubber stamp of a little black boy, do you think I'm able to do that today? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Search for yourself to see if you could find a rubber stamp image of a African American boy, and then come back here and let me know what you found. But with her company, you could find African American boys, because you're looking at one that I got from her company. And she not only represented African Americans, but she had cultural images, Asian images, and images from other ethnicities. Look and see if you could find rubber stamps of little African American girls. There's a couple out there. As a matter of fact, I discovered a stamp I had never seen before from a company I'd never heard of before, and I just got an email this morning that my order shipped out today. But it's few. It's few. It's going to be difficult, but she offered that. So I'm celebrating her achievements and her contributions to the crafting community by playing with her. And you know, I have another one. No, these are the 3 I've created. She's no more. I'm celebrating her because to this day, all these, over a decade later, there's still nothing out there. There's no company out there that offers what she offered. Thank God for Rubbernecker. They do have, and they're the premier company now that offers African American images and rubber stamps. all of their designs, to my knowledge, are of women, not of children. So there's still a lot, you know, that I'm waiting on. But I'm so grateful for my collection I have from her. I'm one of few crafters that have, well, you know, I don't know any other crafter out there. I haven't come across any videos. I think maybe just one over the years that showcased her stamps. If that, maybe no videos out there. And that's so unfortunate. I don't know how many crafters actually have any of her stamps, but once again, I'm grateful for what I have. Now, this collection came just like this. I don't know. I've never come across the actual book. And look at, that's a little gingerbread book. Ah, you guys know I love gingerbread. So these came cut out already. I don't know the name. I would love to come across the book so I can identify. I mean, there's a name that says Yolanda, but I've tried to look up this online and I can't find this set. So I'll eventually come across it. Okay, so these are some newer paper dolls. I don't know if I shared this in my video last year, but I've had this for a minute and forgot about it. So let's pull. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. What is this? Okay, obviously you see that I have a duplicate. By the way, I do have not just duplicates, but some of my paper dolls, I have 3 and 4 of them. Because when I find them really, really cheap, I have to buy them. Okay, this collection here, I'm not sure if I've shared this. I've had this one for a while, and she does have a name, but once again, I'm not prepared. Now, this one is really old. When I say old, it could be antique, maybe like 100, at least 100 years old or close to it. But look at her hair, and she is so pretty. Look at that hair. Oh my goodness. And it came with these 2 dolls too. Now, this feels thick. And I don't know if these came out of a book. I'm waiting on, and I can't think of her name right now, but she's African American, and she has a whole museum of vintage and antique African American paper dolls. And I've been waiting for her to come out with her book. I know she's working on a book featuring all of her paper dolls, but her ministry is more education. She educates us on the progression of paper doll in relations to African American, like how it first started off depicting African Americans looking one way, and then over the decades we began to see real images of African Americans. So I can't wait until her book comes out. Now, we've seen these. I did feature these. These might be my oldest paper dolls. These are definitely antique. They're well over 100 years old. These are original. As a matter of fact, and I believe these clothes to be original too. They came with the paper dolls. I did purchase, there's 4 of these. I have 2 right here, or 3, but I did come across another one that I purchased individually. It might be, I don't think it's with these items. Look, I got another weight 3. I didn't know I had that. I have this big old envelope hidden somewhere. I forgot all about it. So I don't know if I featured this either. Helena International, and you have a whole family. And look, it's rare to have a black man. But this collection has the whole family. It's 1989. And there's some information there. Now, these pages feel more like slick paper, and these have to be cut out. With some of the paper dolls, you can just punch them out. I'm going to say this is rare too, because I don't see this at all. Okay, and then I know I got these this year. The Cabbage Patch. Now, Cabbage Patch dolls were available in different ethnicities. I don't remember. And these are, look, little paper dolls too. I guess this would be the little black Cabbage Patch. And I do have this girl too. Where is she? Where? Do I? I don't know. Oh, here she is. So, I don't know, you guys. My sister had a Cabbage Patch. I don't know if she had the black one, though. Yeah, that would be the black. The little black paper doll girl. And then the boy. Aren't those cute? Ah! In addition to that, I got the vintage Cabbage Patch gift wrap. So fun. What will I do with my collection? I do use some of mine, my duplicates. I add them, oh no, in my journals, because I do want to use them. I do want to play with them. And then, of course, I have to keep a large selection of them just for my pleasure. I would love to have space, like a large curio cabinet where I feature my paper dolls. We'll see. But anyway, I also got this collection here, Dawn paper dolls. And what's deceiving about paper dolls, you see the cover and you think you'll get what you see on the cover. When I saw this, well, I knew I wanted it. Look at that hair. This is so 60s, right? Look at the earrings. Look at the outfit. I would wear this today if I had this outfit. But I really wanted this pose in this outfit. I don't think I got the outfit. This is a rare collection. It's 1971. It came already cut out. So there's a lot of parts and pieces. But I don't think that outfit... Wait a minute. Is this it? Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. This is the outfit. Oh, I know what's different. Okay, let's see. That's the outfit. What was different? Okay, it's different. I wanted that pose. I don't think that pose is here. Who knows? It could be. And I got to be careful because I'm dropping things. And my dog, Sasha, let me show you guys something. This dog is something else. And I can't blame her because I must have dropped. I love gingham. And I purchased a paper doll set, the gingham something. And I got it from a local antique store during the holiday season. I have another collection too, but this collection had the brown gingham dress. And I love brown, I love gingham, but look, she's legless. I found this yesterday on the ground. And I'm like, brand new paper doll vintage collection, and my dog got to it and totally rendered her legless. Okay, so I'll set this aside and let's get, oh, look, this vintage Bugs Bunny card. Don't we love Bugs Bunny? Where did I get this from? It has some age to it. I probably got it from a local antique store. Okay, I'll put this to the side and let's grab this. So if you celebrate Black History, how do you celebrate it? With the pandemic, there's no parades, of course. But every year, there's some type of, I believe, parade. I haven't been to one in so long. But how do you celebrate Black history? If you have young children, how do you celebrate? It is, I believe, a nationally recognized, not holiday, but celebration. And I was surprised, and many of you heard this. I don't know what state it was. It was probably Utah and then Florida. Parents were able to opt out of their children participating in Black history at school. I do believe it got reversed after public outcry, but I didn't know parents had that option to opt their kids out of Black history. I don't know why parents would want to do that. And in my next video, I will talk about the origin of Black history. The other night, my husband and I, we did watch the Harriet Tubman movie. It came out at the theaters, I think, last year, and we saw it on HBO. And anyway, I was pleased with that movie. I haven't read any ratings. When we started to watch it, I was like, do I really want to watch it? Because it is difficult to watch movies that depict people being treated so inhumanely. It's very, very hard. And though I do read a lot, watching a movie, it puts at least me in a certain mindset, and it's hard to come out of it. It's hard to not vicariously experience what you see happen when you watch it in a movie. It's just difficult to come out of it. So I didn't want to watch it, but then again, I wanted to watch it. And I'm happy I did, because it really focused on her relationship with God. It focused on, well, that's what I loved about it mostly. It really depicted her, the Lord leading her. And that in and of itself did something to me. The Lord led that woman, literally, go left, go right, jump over, go underneath. Whatever path she took, she was led by the Lord, and she had the gift of visions. God would give her visions, and all that touched me. What I really was pleased about was how, and some people may not like how, some may feel that it downplayed the horrors of slavery. I was happy that it did, though. I was happy because I did not want to see the whipping, the hanging, and the rapes. It was all there, implied, but they didn't really show it. So it's kind of like if you saw The Passion of Christ. I saw that movie one time, and I don't need to see it again. There is a place, and there have been movies out there that's depicted the reality of slavery. I was just happy this was an easy going movie. The next day it was still with me, but not in the way of these images being stuck in my mind, because it's hard to come out of a state like that. It focused on her mission, her story, her relationship with God, and I'm like, yes. And it was also educational. If you haven't seen that movie, check it out. And you know what? It didn't dawn on me, that woman was alive last century. She lived to be 91 years old. I don't think I knew she lived to be that old. And she passed away, I think, in 1913. I don't think that dawned on me. I don't even think I knew that she lived in the 19th century. Or would that be the 20th century? You know how when it comes to century, if you say 20th, it's the 19th. If you say the 19th, it's the 8th. It's all confusing to me. But anyway, yeah, I didn't know that. And so now I'm like all in love again with Harriet Tubman. And yes, I want to see her on whatever bill they're working on. I want to see her on that. And I need to go out and find a rubber stamp of her. You go, girl. But anyway, back to the paper dolls. I might have 2 of these, if not 3. Do I? Yeah, I got another one of these. Take a look at it. This is so beautiful. And both of these girls look just alike. However, I mean, even with the facial features, the artist did a really good job though with it, because they gave the black girl, of course, black skin or brown skin, but they gave her this hair texture, and that makes all the difference. Because African American people come in a rainbow of colors, ranging from the very lightest to the very darkest. But it's the hair texture. I love that. And this paper doll comes with a lot of clothes. Now, speaking of skin tone, some of you may have caught a video I did a couple weeks ago sharing Crayola's Colors of the World, which when I saw that in Michael's, I fell in love with it. I had to get it so I could use the set myself. Use the set and realized there's no black colored pencil. And I talked about that. And I did reach out to Crayola. So anyway, yeah, what's your thoughts? You have a colored pencil set for children that represents all colors of the world, yet it don't have a black colored pencil. And yes, there are a lot of black people who don't have brown skin. They have a variation, a shade of black skin, including this paper doll right here. This beautiful paper doll. So this is the one I purchased separately. And I don't know if I have this one. Remember, there's 4 paper dolls, and these are all jointed. I need to make a jointed paper doll. This paper doll, you guys, has a beautiful black shade skin tone. It's not brown. It is black. And there are, just Google black people, Google dark black people, and you will see an array. There's people in Hollywood that have, they appear on camera to have a black skin shade and not brown. This is so pretty. The artist did a wonderful job. I just don't like the red lips. But, I mean, this to me is a beautiful job, given that this is over 100 years old. And black people back during that time, in the 50s, you could find greeting cards created with pickaninnies. That's what little black children were called. Big red lips and, you know, all that. Derogatory, demeaning images. This was done very well. I love this. Okay, and then now I do have, if not, well, maybe 3 of these. Because when I see them really cheap, I pick them up. And I will, okay, I will share these with future grandbabies. But this is a pretty one. And she's embossed. Look at that. So you probably saw this one. I mean, this is embossed, you guys. You probably can't tell, but I love it. I'm not sure what year this was created, but I will. Look, it's from, is it from Grandma? Because some of these are Grandma cards. But anyway, yeah, I'll share that with the future grandbaby. And then, did I share? Oh, look, there you go. 2 of them right there. I love it. I love it. Okay, and then, let's see here. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, I have an Etsy shop. It's on sabbatical. And I do specialize in paper napkin bundles. And I do have a bundle. Perhaps I'll share it in a future video this month. I have a collection of African paper napkins. And I got some new ones too. Now this one is old. I got this one from eBay. I had my eye on it for a good while and decided to go ahead and get it. And this one is a good example of the derogatory, exaggerated lips, which are really, she got big red lips. But take a look at this. You see how she's sexualized. Her dress is up and you could see her butt. I saw a Etsy seller she had a collection of American vintage images, and she had one of a image that I felt was inappropriate because it was, well, it sexualized a little black girl. And I'm sure that wasn't her intentions, but I did reach out to her and I brought that to her attention. I didn't go back to see if she still offered that image, but that's being offered, you know, to crafters like in today's time. And I just want to bring awareness. You know, it's offensive. I would be offended if I saw a crafter use a image of a little black girl being sexualized. Once again, I don't think this seller meant anything. Perhaps she just didn't know. But, you know, I do these videos too to educate, to bring awareness. Okay, and then I purchased some vintage African American greeting cards. I want to purchase more greeting cards. That's not paper doll. So you see this one here. I think this one is from the 70s. But look at that, a little black boy. Hey, soul friend. I love that. Love, love, love. Hope you're on the mend. And then I got a couple of these because I just don't come across vintage African American Valentine cards. And this one is so cute and it folds too. Look at that, you guys. Love the images. It is so hard to find images like this. And this probably comes from the 50s or 60s. It's difficult to find like everyday vintage beautiful images of African Americans. And this one, beautiful. So I got two because this was priced really cheap. And then look at this one. Loving that fro. Loving this whole funny look. Sick. It could be worse. And you know this is old. Look at the font. Is there a year? This is probably 70s. Okay, and then I had this for a minute, but the Afro Pick. I love the Afro, you guys. I love the Afro. I love what it represents. The style. I just love it. And when I saw this pick online, I had to pick it up. One year, I was a Afro angel for Halloween. Before that, I was a Afro angel in a play at church. I did a poem and I had my wings and I had my Afro. I still got that Afro upstairs. I love the Afro. Okay, this right here came with a paper doll set that I don't think is with this collection. Okay, I picked up this rare vintage napkin last year. Let's see if I can, I can open it from this side. Can I? Well, I won't open it. But anyway, I want to open this. I don't think I ever did. Darn it. Okay, I'll come back to it. All right, what is this here? Another card. Look at that. Love that pink. Oh, and this one, it's embossed and shiny, and you could feel the slickness of this. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Alrighty, and then got this one here, more yellow. Oh, she is so cute. I wonder if she's the same one as the sick one. That's her, huh? That could be her. If that's the case, I gotta collect the other ones. Look at that. Ah, love you. Love you. I don't recognize that term and what that means. Love you, love you. Okay, and then I do have two of these too. Love it. You can tell that has some age to it. I also have some vintage African American playing cards. I have African American vintage gift wrap. I hope I don't forget to share that. And I got some other stuff too. Okay, paper dolls, you guys. Mahogany, that's by Hallmark. And this opens up like that. Once again, I could share this with a future grandchild, because I would love to get my future grandbaby into collecting vintage paper dolls and cards, kind of give her a head start on her collection. I've been thinking in those terms of, because I wish my mom had collected things that I could have from her today. And of course that didn't happen, but I could do it for my future generations. Okay, another card. See, I knew I had two. I probably have another one. Okay, and look at this birthday card. This is so cute. There's glitter, and it's a paper doll. This is a rare card. I've seen it just, I believe, one time, and I got it. And where is the envelope? Oh, well. Okay, look at this card. I'm not going to take these out the packaging. We can just adore the cover. Look at the afro, and I love the black and white. These are from the 70s, I do believe. And here's another one. Love, love, love it. Love, love, love it. And I got this one, I believe, free from the seller. And someone wrote inside. Kind of everywhere. I am so not prepared. I'm going to watch this video and realize you left out this, you left out that. Well, whatever I leave out, hopefully I'll address in another video in this series this month. But anyway, there's I'm not prepared with her name. Is it Besser? Anyway, I came across her last year. She's widely known in the art. She's like a mixed media artist, but she's known by other titles as well, maybe a fabric artist. Anyway, I came across her, had never heard of her before, just kind of stumbled across her, then went looking for some of her books, which are very hard to find, and if you find it, expensive. But I brought all that up to say, I found a site, and I found one of the books, and I found a collection of her note cards. Well, they're not in production, so they're hard to find. And I found these items at decent prices. Placed my order several weeks ago, reached out to the company, was told I would get a call back, and that order is not going to process. They probably don't have it in stock, or they might realize, you know what, it's worth a whole lot more than what we had it listed for. So I'm kind of bummed out about that, but hopefully during my junking and thrifting, I'll come across some of her work. Now, I don't think I shared this. My husband brought this home to me, and this was fascinating to me. This is probably as close to political royalty I'll come to. But he brought this home, I think it was last year or the year before last, and I don't think I shared it in any of my videos last February. Anyway, one of his clients, we know who this is, right? This is our current president. But when my husband brought this, well, this was taken when he was vice president. It's supposed to be, and there's President Obama and President Biden now. This is supposed to be the actual invitations that went out for inauguration. Yes. Yes, it's supposed to be authentic. He got this from one of his clients. Look at here. I mean, it looks official. Look at that. That's embossed gold seal there. And it has the names, let's see, President and Vice President of the United States. When he brought this home to me, I was thrilled. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? And I searched back then. I think you could go online and buy an original. Inauguration Ceremonies Program 2009. So this would have been Obama's first inauguration. So anyway, I got some history, you guys. I'm fascinated by this. Love, love, love that. What is this? I don't know what this is. I just kind of stick. Oh, this is one of my vintage paper dolls. I actually used her. This is Little Joe. I have like 3, if not 4 books of these. And oh, this must have been one of the books, because you can buy Little Joe, the collection by itself, but then she's offered with other girls. See, I learn things as I research. Uh-oh, we don't want to mess her arm up. As I research and buy paper dolls, I learned that you can, if you see a collection of girls, like 2, 3 girls in one book, they're probably offered separately as well. So that's just good to know. I'll put these, I'll deal, well, what is this? Oh, these are more clothing. Okay, I'll deal with that a little later. Let me get into, oh, you know what? I don't know if I shared this. And for some reason, it feels like there's something else over here in this corner. See, I grabbed this out, but I don't think this is what I wanted to grab out. It could have been this. I don't know if I shared this in one of my prior videos showcasing my paper dolls. This is a wood. She's very thick. She's a wood doll, and look at all that hair. That just reminds me of the girls in my family. Brand spanking new. And her clothing, it feels like it's felt. So she's unique out of my dolls. And do I have a good view? I think so. Isn't she pretty? And I wonder, are there other... Now, she's 1986, so she's more recent. But I wonder if there's other wooden dolls like her. Okay, let's get into some items that I use in paper crafting and journal making. And you guys, these are so cute. These are so cute. See, I wish my mom or my grandma or somebody in my family purchase... Because this has some age. I don't know what year. It says $2.95. That seems pretty expensive. This might be from the 90s. But anyway, I wish like someone in my family purchased things like this, because it's so hard to find. And though you could find new items with Black people on it, like in the form of cards, invitations, whatever, it's nothing like having the vintage. And what I thought to do, I better start buying what I can find now. Because one day it will be vintage. Vintage, it has different definitions if it's a certain age, but it's also vintage if it's discontinued. If you can no longer find it, it might be something new, a couple years old, that can be vintage. So I am going to start to look for things like this. Hallmark has a whole line dedicated to African Americans called mahogany. But these are so pretty. So look at that baby. What I would do, I would use this in a journal. I could cut out the image, or I could keep the invitation intact and use the inside as journaling. There's just a whole lot you can do. And love, love, love these. I shared these. I used one in a project. And if I was prepared, I would share it with you all, but I'm not prepared. Darn it. Okay, hold on. What I was looking for. I went to the place where I thought it should have been, and it wasn't there. And I'm like, I'm really not prepared. But I found it. Okay, so you see this here. I created a die cut with it. And this is so special to me. I talked about this piece in a prior video, but I don't have many pictures at all growing up. I don't have any birthday pictures. I don't have any pictures of holidays. So and because I don't remember much, I have to recreate my history, my story. And that's where the vintage beautiful things like this come into play, because this is totally me and my brother growing up. And when I find items like this, it adds value to me as a crafter, because I can relate to this. And that's why I am waiting and hoping for companies and designers to make the crafting industry more diverse, because creating this, though, and this is an actual picture of me. I think I may have been 2 years old. I don't know. But anyway, having this here to me feels authentic, and words just, I don't know. Words don't describe the way I feel when I made this using this vintage piece here. It's as if it was actually created by my mom back in the year. But I did it. But I was able to fool my mind, right? And I'm content with this because I had a beautiful vintage image of this little boy and girl to incorporate in this piece. And that means so much to me. I hope you guys, I hope I can convey the way I feel. But I love this. And I have a name. This is part of my Heat Collage series. And I endeavor to bring more of these this year. You know, let me share another one that I made. You know, I'll share too, because these are all African American inspired. This one here has a Valentine feel to it. I used African American vintage, probably antique images. And then I made this one. Love, love, love. This one is not finished, actually. But yeah, you guys, love, love, love that. And so the items I'm sharing now, well, the paper dolls, too, I do use in my crafting. But items like this, definitely. They're rare. They're hard to find. And when I go out to thrift stores and estate sales, I'll hit the jackpot if I find items like this. Okay, I do have a collection of vintage playing cards, and they're popular in junk journaling and altered art. I don't think I ever opened these up. See, I thought, okay, I probably would not have gotten these. That don't necessarily look African to me, because I buy the cards, like many of you buy the cards, for the designs. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, okay, there you go. There you go. Okay, okay, because I'm looking at this side, and I'm like, that don't really, I mean, it's cute, but it don't really look like African or African American. But this is where we get into, all right now, okay. Okay, that's why I bought that. And then I love this collection here. I do make, let me grab it. I endeavor, well, I start one thing and do something else. Once again, I have an Etsy shop. It's on sabbatical. And what I'm working on is a African American, African inspired ephemera kit. And I actually have a little kit here. It's not done, but I have parts and pieces. You know, maybe I'll go through that in a second. But I love, these are vintage, I think from the 90s. Coca-Cola. Love that, right? Love, love, love that. And then I have another Coca-Cola collection too. Okay, these here, Sheba. And I have one of those that are open, I think. So let me see. Let's see. That's a new one. Well, let's do here. Soul cards. Now, I love to flip through my vintage Ebony magazines. And whenever I see like one of these playing cards, I saw an ad for it. And I'm like, ah! Oh, speaking of that, you guys, okay, because once again, I'm not prepared. Whatever pops in my mind. Okay, before I forget, let me share this, because I love the Ebony vintage magazines, because I love the ads. And once again, it's beautiful representation, depiction of African Americans from back in the year. So I flip through it for images that I can use in creations. And one of the ads I love is of this girl here. So I dedicated this whole album, and I have a lot more of these ads I need to put in this album. But I love it when I find her. There's other ads too that I love, but I just wanted to share share this. It's vintage, it's beautiful, and I have created some projects using her. And speaking of creating projects, oh, I'm not prepared, you guys. Okay, if I don't forget, I'll share some mood cards that I created. Okay, back to the African American vintage playing cards. When I saw these, I didn't know any of these things exist. I just search. And when I saw these, I got these from an Etsy seller. I could not believe. You guys might recognize her. She's on, I think, Charmin, the paper, the toilet paper. That's her. I would love to come across a brand new packet of toilet paper with her on it. There's several African Americans, girls, on toilet paper, and I would love to come across them. That would be a dream come true. Look at these. I mean, they're pretty. They're all the same. Now, these, they're playing cards, but that image alone, oh my goodness, love, love, love that. And these are the soul cards. Did I share? Yeah, I shared those already. I still need to get a pack of these that's open. And let's see, I'm missing. I have several more collections. Okay, I'll share these. I found oh, is that dust? Lord, that is dust, you guys. See, I told you guys. These probably came, nope, they came right from my craft room. I was going to say these came from my dusty, dirty, dingy garage, but these came from a corner of my dirty, dusty, dingy craft room, obviously. These were next to a window that stays open, and of course the dirt just comes in. But, okay, I'm going to keep that and clean that. But these are envelopes, and I believe I have matching stationery too. But look at there's images of black people. And I didn't realize there's different images. I got these from a thrift store. And there's some information. Tahiti. Look at that. Aren't those pretty? See, these are special to me. These are special. I would love to find the rubber stamps. I'm sure there's no rubber stamps of these, but if I found rubber stamps, okay, yes. Dirty, dingy, dusty. Okay, let me get a wipe and clean my hands. I have more playing cards. Once again, I'm not prepared, you guys. Oh, before I forget, because I will forget, let me grab this. I just got this just yesterday. And I do have an assortment of vintage Christmas gift wrap in the long rolls. I hate it because I ordered a collection about a month ago and I've been waiting on it to come, and I reached out to the seller twice and never got a response because it was way past delivery date. So I finally just requested a refund, and then she got back to me and stated she had a death in the family, and if I still wanted it, she would send it out. But before I had a chance to respond and tell her I wanted it, she had refunded my money. So anyway, but aren't these the prettiest? See, it's things like this. You could use this in card making today. What I would do, because it's so precious, it's so rare, I would just cut around the image and use like a lone image on a card or on something like I shared earlier to make on a journal page. I would not use this to wrap a gift. It is too precious. No, 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 no. And there's different designs. I love it when I come across things like this. And it got marked down to 5. That says 5 cents. Are you serious? This is beautiful. This excites me. And then these are Black History. Okay, these are playing cards too. And you guys, yes, in my dirty, dingy, dusty garage, I don't think I've ever shared this in any of my videos celebrating Black History, but I do have that Black History, that board game from the 70s. I didn't know that existed. Okay, so let's see here. These are nice because they're educational. you can learn about different historical, look, Harriet Tubman, African Americans. What I endeavor to do, not with these, I have to keep this collection. I think it's pretty rare. But like for my playing cards, let me share this kit. I don't know what's all in here, but once again, I do have a paper napkin African American bundle. But what I want to do is to create little ephemera bundles. This comes from a roll of vintage, the long gift wrapped. So I would, and this is not vintage. You can go to a site and buy this. I was using this for something. But see, this is a die cut that you could make from this design here. And this is vintage. You could add something like this to your journal. So I am putting together a authentic ephemera kit. And this is a vintage recipe card. Look, with that little black doll there. I cut this from a Ebony magazine. I want to have clippings from Ebony magazines, and I glued it down to this paper here. This is a vintage Ebony mailer. Got another one of these. And in my kit, I want to include, well, I don't know how that might not be possible to add because I collect these vintage sewing patterns with African Americans on them. So I don't have duplicates. Maybe one here. I have a couple of these. You could cut out that little baby and add it to a project. So I do have some items in here. Let's just see. Oh, look at here. I do have, these are Ebonades. These are vintage Band-Aids created for Black people. And these, I have these in a couple different shades. And I like that. I think Johnson & Johnson came out with some, and another company that you can buy now. But back in the year, a Black company put these skin shade Band-Aids out. This one don't match me, but once again, these, and I think I have a couple different skin tones, but these were made in different shades for Black people. Oh, this is one of those, my goodness. Okay, this, I made this from a stamp from Dandy Images, and she's African American, and I just love this. See, today, I mean, it's hard. You wouldn't be able to find something, well, yeah, like this. So here's a card I got in one of my future videos for this month. I'm going to share some Black history items I picked up from Michael's this year. I got this one last year. And, oh, you know what? I'm just kind of getting into different stuff, huh? Anyway, I got, this comes from a Ebony ad, Soul Aid. I probably have these Band-Aids, and I reprinted this onto fabric. But here's a authentic 90s Black Santa Claus tag. And these are, this is a vintage ad from the Ebony magazine. I do have a clapper girl with an afro. Definitely, you know, she's definitely Black with that afro. And then her features too are Black. So these are ads here. So anyway, this is my collection. Oh, in my collection, I do want to also include a vintage paper doll outfit. And here's one, and here's the card, and mustard greens. I got these growing in my garden. I have a variety of greens growing, ready to be harvested because I'm going to make some greens. Now, speaking of my garden, you guys, I did share a haul video from a company called Garden Art for the Soul. I stumbled across some pieces online from this company and went right over and placed, actually, I placed an order. My daughter got me some pieces too for Mother's Day last year. If you want to beautify your garden, and I keep a garden all year. I have a vegetable garden all year. I'm planting flowers now, but in addition to everything else in my veggie and herb garden. But anyway, Garden art for the soul. You can buy beautiful stakes with African Americans on it, different themes. I got some for Christmas, an angel, over the holiday season, beautiful angel. And there you could buy the stakes in 2 different sizes. You guys check out my video. Search my my channel for garden art and it'll come up. Head over to their site, because I tell you, now I can walk in my garden and I see garden art that reflects me and my culture, and it just makes gardening and going out in my garden. I live in my garden. I'm out there all the time. If I don't pluck nothing, if I don't harvest nothing, I just love to walk around and smell and feel and touch and envision. It's so relaxing. And to have those pieces out in my garden now, I'm like, it just makes the whole experience that much more special. And these are pieces, they're really art pieces. I mean, they're not, to me, they're priced good, but they're not cheap. The quality is excellent too, but these are heirloom pieces, pieces that will be passed down to my children and then to their children. So I'm making my own history as well. Anyway, you know what I'll do? Because I do have pieces from the holiday season that I have yet to share in a video. I will share those pieces for Black History. Yes, because it's about celebrating our history, but also those who are making history, like this company is making history by offering garden art featuring African Americans. That's going to do it for this video. I have a whole lot more to share, but once again, I wasn't organized. If I would have waited to get organized, I wouldn't do any videos. If you like this video, why not like it? Give me a thumbs up. Also subscribe, share your Black History stories. How are you celebrating Black History? You know, speaking of those greens in my garden, I'm going to finally harvest them. I planted greens September the 15th. You hear me? And I can barely harvest them now. This weather is crazy. You're supposed to harvest greens in 2 months. I wanted to have my greens for Thanksgiving. And then I said, okay, Christmas, they were not ready. And truth be told, they're still growing. But I think what I'm going to do in honor of Black History is to harvest my greens and make a pot of greens. Because that's part of my history. I remember my grandma making greens. She had a garden, so she would pick greens and clean greens and make greens. I thank God for, I can still remember those things, and I thank God for that part of history. And greens are good for you too. They are delicious, but they are healthy for you. So what I will do is, I'm going to share a video featuring, I'll share pictures of, well, you know, I might just share it all, but I want to focus on the newer pieces and share the video. Well, there's one I have yet to pick up, and it's a stake of Big Mama picking greens. See, it would be perfect for me to have that one while my greens, you know, are tall and all that, but I don't have that piece yet. Anyway, you guys, like, subscribe, share, and share your comments. And I want to thank you all for watching. And hey, if you celebrate Black History, if you have a video, if you have pictures to things that, you know, your home or things you've created, do leave links in a comment below, because I would love to see how you're celebrating Black History. All right, you all, I want to thank you all for watching. As always, blessings.